It's an amazing undertaking, Steve, but I'm sure it will work. Give the tribes this one example and they'll all follow along. The men and supplies will be sent immediately. Notify Tecumseh.
I already did.
Good. We're on our way to peace.
Halfway. There'll be no real peace until we find out what the spies are trying to do in Vincennes.
Do you have any plan in mind?
Only to let them know I'm after them. Let them make the plans.
They'll try to kill you.
Then we'll know the ones we have to worry about.
Well, good luck, Steve.
Thanks.
Where's your father, Miss McGregor?
He's in his office. But you'll have to wait. There's someone...
Thanks. It'll not be long. Who is it?
Debbie.
Well, it's happened. Tecumseh and the Prophet are split wide open. The Prophet's been banished from Tippecanoe.
It's taken a long time. We've broken Tecumseh's power.
Maybe. The attack on the Indian village was stopped by Steve Riddell.
Riddell?
He's here in town right now. I just saw him leave Harrison's office, and he's heading this way.
He'll be coming here to see Laura.
Riddell knows me. I met him in Washington some time ago at one of the peace parlors.
Wait.
Young lady, I have 150 elephant skins.
Elephant? Steve.
Laura, nice to see you.
Oh, Steve, I thought I'd never see you again.
You'd better go out by the storeroom, General. There's a door will lead you to an alley.
I can't stay in Vincennes with Riddell here. Can you handle the details without me?
I'll do my best.
You're a hard girl to please, Laura. You always were, even when we were kids.
Don't worry. When the right man comes along, I'll get him.
I'll be in touch with you in Canada.
Now, where's your father?
Customers. Business has been wonderful, but he'll have time for you. Let's go into his office.
All right. There you go.
Father?
Steve Riddell. Laddie, it's good to see you again. We were just talking about you the other night.
Shane, you haven't changed a bit. You're looking fine.
Just like old times, eh, Laura? Steve, Laura, and Tecumseh, the three of you. Kids together, thick as thieves. And look at you now. I'm getting old, Steve.
Oh.
Why, he's as strong as an ox. He can lift a whole moose skin. Still full of moose. What happened to Mr. Bancroft?
Oh, I sent him in the stockroom to see what we had on hand.
But I could have given him an itemized inventory.
Oh, sometimes I wonder who's running this business. Will we see you for dinner tonight, Steve?
Please come.
I'll wear my Sunday best.
Good, good. Let's sit down and have a little chat.
I'm sorry, Shane. I have lots to do. I'd better run along.
Then we'll see you tonight, and you can tell us all your plans then.
Fine.
Good. Well, goodbye, Steve, until tonight.
I've seen Tecumseh, Laura. He thinks about you a great deal.
He comes to Vincennes occasionally. Why did you come back, Steve?
I was sent here. Business.
Oh. Wait a minute, Steve. I want to see how Mr. Bancroft's getting along. That's strange. He's not there. He must have gone out the storeroom door. Dropped the snuff box.
H.P. Are you sure this is Bancroft's?
Well, I was in the storeroom a few minutes before you came, and it wasn't there then.
These cross muskets are the insignia of the King's Grenadiers. Know where he's staying?
At the inn. Why?
This may be one of the reasons I'm in Vincennes, Laura. The English are learning too much about our plans. Has your father known Bancroft long?
No. He's a new customer.
I'd like to see him. May I return this?
There might be trouble.
There already is. Yes? The proprietor sent me, sir. Your snuff box was found downstairs.
Oh, Riddell.
General Proctor. You should have let us know you were going to be in Vincennes. We would have given you a military reception.
What do you want here?
No English gentleman is complete without a snuff box. And this one probably has some special sentiments. It's favorite regiments.
Well, thank you very much. And now, since I'm in rather a hurry, would
A
you...
military man in civilian clothes? A bit unusual for a general to be a spy, isn't it, sir?
We are not at war, Mr. Riddell. I'm merely here on a little business with Mr. McGregor.
Business as usual? I'm afraid you'll have to answer a few questions for Governor Harrison, sir.
Why, of course. I've no objections. Good work, Captain. The horses are in the back. I think we'd better hurry, sir.
Steve, this is the first time I ever did business with him. And he certainly didn't seem like a military man to me. He gave no hint whatsoever and appeared to know quite a lot about pelts. Who could he have wanted to contact here?
The other man in that room, perhaps. The one who hit me. Apparently, Proctor's been using you and your business to cover up the real purpose of his visit.
Aye, he could have. Steve, I hope you don't think that I...
Ah, you wouldn't do that to Laura.
Of course not.
Why, I disown him.
Well, I'd better report this to Harrison. See you at the house later.
Proctor get away all right?
I took him to the edge of town.
But Riddell...
I know. How quickly can you reach the prophet?
He's camped near the first gun emplacement in the woods. I should say an hour, possibly a little longer.
Take him this message. I want him to raid my farm tonight.
What?
No one here could suspect a man who's attacked by the... my house. And he will die trying to protect Laura and myself.
What time shall they attack?
Tell them I'll signal from my window with a lantern. And remember, no harm is to come to my daughter.
I know how much you think of Riddell, but this is one time you haven't any choice.
I'll tell that to my conscience. You better hurry.
Hard to believe that Proctor would take a chance on coming here himself.
Must have been important enough for him to come.
I just received one of our intelligence reports from the Canadian border. It seemed routine enough until his business with Proctor. But perhaps there is some connection. The report states that a lot of new artillery was recently brought into Fort Malden and then shipped out again.
Shipped out of the fort. We've tried to locate the shipment, but it appears to have vanished into thin air. We're keeping a close watch on all land and water approaches. This artillery must have been part of Proctor's strategy. And it must also have had something to do with Indiana. That's why Proctor was here.
I've requested our counterintelligence to redouble their efforts, but there may not be time. No one knows exactly how close war is.
Well, at least it gives me more to work on than I had. The difference between victory and defeat, Governor, may prove to be the snuff box of an English gentleman. Nothing like a good glass of port to top off a good dinner.
Dad looks as though my cooking gave him indigestion.
No, Laura, it isn't of that, lass. It's just that suddenly these things seem very important to me. A snug home, the satisfaction of good food, good wine, and a pretty lass to look at.
Too much wine.
I think I know just how he feels.
But nobody rests easy these days. Every man's tied up tight with his own principles and politics. And men die because of them. Well, you two will be wanting to talk about something else besides politics. Good night, Steve.
Good night, Shane. See you tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh, aye, lad. Aye, tomorrow.
You've been gone for so long. I don't know whether you've changed or not.
Not much reason for changing.
Oh, Steve. You left Vincennes over 2 years ago. Why didn't you write?
Oh, I don't know. I thought maybe you and Tecumseh'd be married by now. He always said he would ask you when the time was right.
But the time hasn't been right. For either of us.
You know he loves you. And the new town of Tippecanoe will make the time right.
But the Indians would never follow a chief who'd married a white woman. Will you have to be at Tippecanoe during the building of the town?
Oh, part of the time at least. Harrison is sending men from here to help. And someone's got to be there to prevent any clashes between them and the Indians.
You'll have trouble from the English, and the prophet too, no doubt.
They're not going to like it, that's certain.
If only... Steve!
Shawnees, go to town and get help. Your father and I'll try and hold out. Shane!
I see them, Steve. I'll pick them off from up here.
We could see the fire from town.
Indians raiding our place. Hup!